Our breaking news: the Dow Jones Industrial Average plunges more than 700 points. This as worries over trade tensions with China rattle financial markets. President Trump just announced new tariffs on about $60 billion worth of Chinese goods. The stock market started low in anticipation of the announcement. After it came, the Dow sunk dramatically. Learn more about the decision on 13 News Now at 5:30.
A former Hampton police officer is arrested thousands of miles away.
He is accused in a local drug trafficking scheme.
D'Angelo Freeman is charged with conspiring to sell drugs. 13 News Now reporter Nico Clemens is live in Hampton. And Nico, you've looked into Freeman's background.
Yeah, that's right. Freeman's arrest is part of a bigger drug trafficking operation that FBI agents started investigating about 3 years ago. I'll start with Freeman's arrest and then I'll go into who investigators say he was working with. Now, not only do federal investigators say Freeman helped the group move weight and move drugs across Hampton roads, they say he also provided the identity of an FBI confidential informant to his co-conspirators. Freeman started as a patrolman with the Hampton Police Division back in 2010. Police say Freeman separated from city employment last November. Now, about that bigger operation I mentioned, investigators say Freeman plotted with a family to distribute drugs for several years. FBI agents arrested the group last November, and today I spoke with one of Freeman's neighbors earlier today.
Makes you sort of question who's working here, you know. It makes you sort of question the type of people that's supposed to be protecting us, who we're paying our taxes to.
That's right, and Freeman faces a mandatory minimum of 10 years in prison and a maximum of life in prison if convicted. There's so much more to this story. Coming up at 5, we'll have more details on Freeman's arrest, and later at 6, we'll have a statement from the Hampton Police Division. Live in Hampton, I'm Nico Clemens, 13 News Now.
A bittersweet homecoming today for an Oceana-based fighter squadron. VFA 213, the Black Lions, returned -2 of their aviators who were killed in a crash last week during training exercises in Key West, Florida. They were the pilot, Lieutenant Commander James Johnson, and the Weapons Systems Officer, Lieutenant Caleb King. Today, their commanding officer spoke about the men, and Mike Gooding was there.
Well, this was obviously an unthinkable loss for the Black Lion Squadron. Now they are coming together and figuring out a way to carry on without 2 of their own. This morning, the squadron returned from its training exercises in Key West, Florida, where the deadly crash happened 8 days ago. The remaining FA-18F Super Hornets rolled back to their hangar today. Mourning loved ones were there to greet the aviators. The Navy asked that we not photograph that. Afterwards, VFA 213's commanding officer came back out before the cameras, and he made a statement about Lieutenant Commander Johnson and Lieutenant King.
Our entire command mourns the loss of these 2 patriots, a feeling we know we share with our brothers and sisters in the profession of arms, our community here in Virginia Beach, and in homes and families all across our great nation. But we will heal, together as a team and as a community.
Commander Robb took no questions from the media as far as what happened. He said that'll all be part of the official investigation. Typically, those take 4 to 6 months to complete. Reporting live outside NAS Oceana, Mike Gooding, 13 News Now.
Let's check out the forecast with Evan.
Quite a big difference today from what we saw yesterday. Lots of sunshine today, and you can see now a clear sweep showing up on the radar across eastern Virginia and North Carolina. That nor'easter, that storm system working its way off towards the northeast, not before dumping quite a bit of snow off towards the north. All of this that you're seeing up here that doesn't really move, that's the snow cover on the ground being picked up by the satellite. It's just so cold, and using that visible imagery that we are seeing that snow up there. But we are looking at some clear conditions over the next couple of days, but we're watching this next storm system out towards the west. Doesn't look like much right now, but eventually it'll dive southward and give us a chance at maybe some mixed precipitation as we get into Saturday night and into early Sunday. Some of the indications are it might be a little farther south, so it might be a case where mainly North Carolina gets some of that. But let's talk about what you can expect as you're heading out this evening. Mainly clear skies. Beautiful shot up in Hampton. Temperature is right around 50 degrees. It's 50 in Norfolk, 51 in Suffolk, 53 the warm spot coming in Edenton in North Carolina, 54 in Williamsburg. Williamsburg. A little bit cooler, 46 up along the eastern shore. So over the next several hours, generally clear skies. We'll look for a few more clouds later this evening. Futurecast is saying cloudy conditions. I think it'll be more like partly cloudy. But the general idea is after we go through the sunset time period, which is just after 7 o'clock, we'll notice those temperatures dropping down into the low 40s later tonight. More sunshine tomorrow. Temperatures back up near 50 degrees. And we'll track that system for Saturday. Much more on that in the 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Evan, thank you. Well, just in, a family-owned manufacturing company is about to grow even more. Liebherr announced it will invest $45 million to expand its facility in Newport News. Construction on those new buildings should begin in July and will take about 2 years to complete. Liebherr is one of the largest builders of construction machinery in the world. It has been operating in Newport News for nearly 50 years.
With spring here, sort of, road crews are starting to get to work on permanently patching the potholes that developed over the winter. And in Norfolk, the city wants your help. The city says April is Pothole Month. They're asking residents to report all the potholes they see so crews can fix them right away. You can do that by calling 664-6510, or you can report the potholes on the city's website, norfolk.gov.
Okay, we're getting closer to another round of elections. On May 1st, local voters will cast ballots in some city elections. So let's take a look. We're going to start off in Hampton. Hampton has city council and school board seats up for grabs. Norfolk also has several city council elections and school board contests. And let's go to Chesapeake right now. Hit that right there. And there are 2 city council seats on the ballot and a school board seat. There's also a special election for mayor. Mayor Rick West was appointed after Alan Krasnoff became circuit court clerk. He will face Joanne Gallant for the job. All right, now to Newport News, a big race going on there as well. You have city council, school board, and mayor. The race for mayor is a 4-way contest. Incumbent McKinley Price is facing city councilman Marcellus Harris, Dominic Green, and Centil J. Creekmore. Now the deadline to register to vote is Monday, April 9th.
Today, Virginia Secretary of Finance Aubrey Lane visited Norfolk. He discussed Governor Ralph Northam's proposed state budget. The plan includes a push for Medicaid expansion for nearly 400,000 Virginians, but many Republicans oppose this. 13 News Now reporter Elise Brown spoke to Lane about how lawmakers can move forward.
The conversation on whether or how to expand Medicaid is back on the table with Governor Northam's proposed budget. But there's a stalemate. Senate Republicans oppose it.
What the Senate did, we did not expand Medicaid, and we covered our most vulnerable population. We addressed the issue of high-cost insurance, and we addressed the issue of those who don't have insurance.
Whereas the governor and GOP-controlled House are for Medicaid expansion. Secretary of Finance Aubrey Lane stopped by Norfolk to detail the proposal. He says by expanding Medicaid, the federal government would reimburse the state 90% of $2 billion. Then the governor is proposing taxing hospitals to cover the remaining 10%.
Those individuals now are coming into hospitals and being covered with no means to pay, and so or limited means to pay. This will help them do that. That benefits the hospitals.
The Virginia Hospital and Healthcare Association has historically opposed this type of proposal. But a spokesman says they are willing to discuss the possibility, but with conditions.
Any money raised should only go for healthcare purposes, and it should only be asked of the hospitals at a time when the state actually has costs associated with coverage expansion.
Lawmakers go back in session to discuss the budget on April 11th. Elise Brown, 13 News Now.
Breaking right now in Norfolk, police have identified Williams James White Jr. as the man shot and killed outside his home Wednesday morning. It happened around 9:30 on C Avenue. Police are not releasing any other details, but they are asking anyone with information that can help to call the crime line, and that number is 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP.
Tomorrow, the governor will make a stop here in Hampton Roads. He is hosting a Women Veterans Roundtable. It is at the Virginia Beach Tidewater Community College campus. Earlier this month, the governor declared this week the first Women Veterans Week. The governor said the goal is to honor more than 100,000 women veterans in the Commonwealth.
The U.S. Senate is looking over a massive spending bill that will prevent the government from shutting down. The budget is $1.3 trillion. It increases spending for defense and domestic programs, but there's no fix for DACA. The House has already passed the bill, and the Senate must pass it by the end of tomorrow to avoid a third government shutdown this year.